Ethiopia's government has declared a short ceasefire in its Tigray region after 8 months of deadly conflict. Its forces are said to have left the region's capital, Mekelle, along with members of the government's regional administration. The area's former rulers say they are now back in control. Thousands have been killed since fighting broke out last November. More than 2 million people have been displaced in the region. There are hundreds of thousands facing starvation. Well, joining us now to bring us up to date on developments in Tigray is correspondent Maria Gat-Nicolescu. Maria, a dramatic turn of events there, with Tigrayan rebel forces saying they've retaken the regional capital. What more can you tell us?
Well, what we know so far about the situation is that on Monday, the Ethiopian army, who had been controlling Tigray's capital, Mekelle, for 7 months, withdrew from the city along with members of Tigray's interim administration. Before leaving, some Ethiopian soldiers reportedly looted properties and raided banks. Later in the day, Tigrayan forces entered the city. They were greeted by crowds of people chanting, waving Tigrayan flags, and later in the evening, the Ethiopian government announced a ceasefire. The ceasefire is unilateral. It aims officially at allowing farmers to work in their field during the planting season. But so far, neither the TDF, the Tigrayan Defense Forces, or the Eritrean soldiers who had been backing the Ethiopian government in the Tigray region since last November have officially accepted the ceasefire. The announcement comes as fighting intensified in the Tigray region over the past days, with Tigrayan forces saying they've claimed several territories, and they see the retake of Mekelle as a military victory.
Okay, so we have a ceasefire on the table. We have to wait and see if anyone's going to really respect that. If it holds, is it going to help the humanitarian situation there for the people in the region who have suffered so much?
Well, because of the ongoing insecurity, it has been so far very difficult for NGOs to reach some of the rural areas in Tigray, where the population is suffering from widespread malnutrition, especially children. NGOs are repeatedly blocked at checkpoints, accused of supporting the Tigrayan forces. So if a ceasefire is in place, this could allow humanitarian workers to bring much needed help to the civilian population. Farmers are also saying that they're very late on plowing their fields because they either had to hide or to escape because of this situation. The UN is saying that 350,000 people are currently at risk of famine in Tigray, a claim that the Prime Minister has repeatedly denied.
This conflict in the Tigray region has been going on now for 8 months. Tell us what's at stake here.
So in Tigray, the Ethiopian army, which is backed by Eritrean soldiers, is fighting the former ruling party, the TPLF, or Tigray People's Liberation Front. Officially, the government is saying that the operation is a law enforcement operation after the TPLF attacked federal military bases in the region. But the conflict on the ground so far has shown that the civilians have paid the price for this war. Thousands have been killed, although there's no official death toll yet. More than 2 million people were displaced. As early as last week, an airstrike hit a small town near the capital, Mekelle, and killed dozens of civilians. There's also been property looting, a lot of destruction. So the economy is currently at a standstill in the Tigray region. So the international community repeatedly called for the ceasefire, called for discussions between the parties. So for now, negotiations seem quite unlikely still.
Maria, thank you very much for filling us in there. That was journalist Maria Gat-Nicolescu in Addis Ababa.